Now, in other news today, Belfast rappers Kneecap have been condemned by the government. This is after footage emerged appearing to show one of them telling their fans to kill Conservative MPs. Now, the video was taken from a gig back in November 2023. Today, it's been criticised by politicians in Westminster, Edinburgh, Stormont and Dublin, and has added a call to the band to be removed from festivals such as Glastonbury this summer. Well, I'm joined now by Katie Amess, the daughter of Sir David Amess, the Conservative MP, who you'll remember was stabbed to death in Southend back in 2021. Katie, thank you for coming on to talk about this tonight. I know this will have angered you greatly to have seen this. Perhaps you can give me an idea of what you thought when you heard about this.
Just absolute heartbreak that people are still speaking with this kind of rhetoric and violence and venom, and just absolutely heartbroken that my father was killed in such an awful manner, and people are like celebrating it and asking for it to happen again. And it's a very, very dangerous narrative to be putting out there. These people have thousands of fans who are young and they're impressionable, and who knows, one of them might go and actually commit the crime. So for them to be saying this, it was just extremely upsetting. And I honestly, I'm just gobsmacked that young people are speaking like this nowadays. It's very dangerous, and it needs to be investigated fully, and the police have to get involved, and then they should apologise to the victims of people that this actually happened to. It's not a game. It's not funny. These are real people's lives. And my father, a wonderful man, a politician for 38 years, he did nothing wrong. He went to work one day and was killed, and that's nothing to laugh and joke about. So I'm very shocked that this has been said.
Yeah, Katie, this has been referred by the Met Police to the Counter-Terrorism Internet Referral Unit for assessment and determine whether any further police investigation may be required. We're waiting for an official response from the group themselves. Recently, they've spoken out about free speech and how they've been the subject, they believe, of a witch hunt. But in your opinion, is this free speech or hate speech?
This is not free speech. You're telling people to go and kill somebody. If that's free speech, then we need to eliminate free speech. That is absolutely ridiculous. They verbatim said to go and kill a person. That is illegal. That is not free speech. That is not art. People have been killed because of their beliefs, and it's not a joke, and it's not something that should just be said lightly. So they can't get away with it under the guise of being creative and being artistic. They have committed a crime by saying to go and kill people. And I think they should ask themselves, if it was their father that this happened to, would they be so excited about shouting out to people and saying it to happen? I wake up every day with the knowledge that I will never see my father again. He will never meet my children. He wasn't able to be at my wedding. There's nothing funny about this. This is serious. And the government and the police need to take it seriously and to nip this in the bud and stop this kind of rhetoric being tolerated.
Yeah, Katie, investigation is taking place, and as I said, we are waiting to hear from the members of the group. There are 3 members in that group. Would you sit down with them and talk to them about your experience? Is this education here? Would you accept an apology?
Absolutely. I'm more than happy to sit down and speak with them. I'm sure they've never met a victim of such a heinous crime, and so they're not thinking it through. If they were to meet with me and to see and to hear the pain and the torture and the torment that I go through every day, I'm sure they would feel terribly guilty, and I'm sure that they would apologise, because if not, what kind of people are they? So I'm more than willing to sit down with them and explain why people in their position should not be inciting this kind of violence. They should be creating love and positivity. They're in an amazing position to be able to, let's create something good in the world, not let's have violence against our elected officials. So yeah, I'm willing to meet with them, and I think they're going to change their mind when they hear firsthand how not funny this situation is.
Yeah, we live in a time of cancel culture, don't we? And the band has recently faced criticism after they display messages about the war in Gaza during the music festival in America, Coachella. The calls for their work visas to be revoked in the US, but following this, now calls for them to be taken off the bill at Glastonbury, for example, this year. Is that the kind of thing you want to see happen?
Well, we need to do a police investigation, find out, why they said it. I think that possibly that needs to happen, but they also need to take accountability and apologise, and we need to have the force of the law on them. They might have been doing it to create publicity because now we're on this news station talking about them. We would not have been had they not have said it. But that's not an excuse. So I don't know what the right way forward is. I know that there needs to be a police investigation and there needs to be apologies to victims of serious crimes such as this.
Words matter though, right, Katie?
Words matter, and we see the consequences when these things aren't taken seriously, because my father's killer was known to the authorities and they didn't take it seriously. The police didn't show up even though there was a threat the night before. The government were monitoring him, let him go back out into the community, and now my father isn't with us today, so we can't wait until something bad happens and then say lessons will be learned. Lessons are never learned. We need to get up front of these things and tackle them before they happen so that other people's lives aren't torn apart like mine has been and the rest of my family's.
Well, Katie, listen, I really appreciate you coming onto the UK tonight to talk to us about this. Thank you for your time. Katie Amess there, the daughter of Sir David Amess. We have approached Kneecap about the comments allegedly made in that video. We've also approached their manager for comment as well. Nothing as of yet.